Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Daily Double, Mishnah Yomi. We're learning Maasros, Perek Dalet, and Mishnayos Aleph and Beis. Mishnah Aleph says, HaKovish HaSholek HaMolei HaChayev, right? We talked about making your produce into tevel, where it's chayev to take out shumas and ma'ashes before you partake of it, even snack from it. So let's say, we said if you do a gemar malacha, if you process it, right, you put it in a big pile, that's processing. Let's say you don't put it in a big pile. However, you're kovish it, you pickle it, hasholik, or you let it soak in water for a long time, oleach, or you salt it, right? These are different ways of preparing food. Chayev, that is tovel, that's called processing it, and therefore you chayev and shumas ma'aseh. Hamachamin ba'adama, however, you merely covered over with dirt to heat it up, that's not a professional way of cooking or preparing food. Potter, that's not considered getting it ready to eat. Amataba basada, potter. Let's say you take olives or something like that, or a different fruit, and you want to squeeze out some of the juice in order that you can dip your bread in there, right? You can dip your bread in olive oil. That's putter because that's not it's not a normal way of eating. It's not a dignified way of eating. It's not a kavua way of eating. So therefore, it's not considered ready to eat it yet. But say a zaysim, sheizev and asraf patra. Similarly, if you take olives from the field and you want to get them ready to eat, so you squeeze out some of the juice, which makes it very bitter. That's not considered also getting ready. That's still snacking. It's not making a full ready meal. Asochid zaysim absaro patra. Even if you take olives and smear the oil on your skin, that's not a kavua thing that you do, because it's not like buying a bottle of olive oil from the store. It's one zayis. However, if you took it and you put some of the oil into your hand, then rub the oil on your body, that is a more permanent fashion, and that's considered getting them ready for use, processing, and therefore you be chayav to go to the ma'ashes. I'm a kapeh l'tavshil potter. Now, the way that the Rav and the Rambam have makapeh, they have it spelled with a hey. I have it in the Mishnah with an aleph, and from modern Hebrew, kafa means to freeze something. So hamakafa, I'm going to explain it like that. Hamakafa l'tavshil. I know the Rav and the Ram don't say this. I don't know if anyone says like I'm saying, but to me it seems like the correct explanation. Hamakafa l'tavshil. Let's say you have spices, or you have, like we learned about, coriander or cilantro. You have different spices that, you consider them valuable. They're ocha, you could eat it, or they could spice up your pot. So let's say you add it to a piece of meat or something, and you freeze the piece of meat. So that's putter because you're not eating it right now. Like deira, however, once you put the spices in already a pot that you're cooking right now, chayav mipnei shehu kebar katan, because it's like putting it in you're collecting it in a small pit. It's like the gemar malacha over here, because you're making kedeira, you're making something that you could eat at a meal, a main dish at a meal. That's already kovea. That's not a snack anymore. That's like you process it for permanent eating, for a meal, and therefore it's chayav and shumas and ma'aseh. So it's based hinokos shetamnu te'enim l'shabbos. Let's say if young kids, they go to your trees, your fig trees, and they hide. They play hide and seek. They also hide figs, where hide in, what is the game? I don't know. Scavenger hunt. They have a scavenger hunt. They're looking for figs on Shabbos. The shachu la'asra, you didn't take of shumas and ma'aseh. Lo yochel moti Shabbos ad she'asra. Once Shabbos passes over and you haven't taken of shumas and ma'aseh, therefore Shabbos is kovas. Shabbos itself, the day of Shabbos, we'll play this more in Iyun Mitzion, the Iyun Mishnah Yomi, why it is that Shabbos itself makes something a multi Shabbos. You have to take out shumas ma'aseh right away, even though it wasn't processed and it wasn't brought into your house yet. Kalkala Shabbos. Let's say you pick some figs for a basket on Friday or Thursday for Shabbos. Beis Shammai potrin, Beis Hillel mechayvin. Beis Shammai says even before Shabbos. Beis Hillel says even before Shabbos it's chayvin shumas ma'aseh, because you're miyached, you specify this is going to be for Shabbos, so that's already Shabbos is koveya for that. Beis Shammai says no, you need mamish Shabbos to actually pass over. You need a real Shabbos to be koveya. Even if you make a basket, a nice a gift basket out of figs or whatever you want to send over, you go to O Nuts, but your O Nuts is in the field, and you want to make a nice gift basket to give that for Shabbos, even for not Shabbos. He's not talking about Shabbos. You want to give him a nice present. Once you made it into a present like that, it's considered processed, considered like a permanent meal. And therefore, you have to take control of the says Tovel. We don't paskin like Rabbi Yehuda. Only Shabbos kovas, not setting something as a present, because a present is not the same thing as a meal. We're going to explain the concept of Shabbos being koveya and Ian Mitzion coming up next.